Martyrdom is about your conditioning. It's a psychological term. It refers to a person who habitually sacrifices their own needs, comfort, or well-being for others. It's a survival mechanism. You derive meaning and validation or control through self-sacrifice to an unhealthy degree, and then you identify that as who you are. You struggle to set boundaries. You feel guilty when prioritizing your own needs. You take responsibility for things that aren't unnecessary, and you feel underappreciated and resentful afterwards. So it's very common for deeply feeling people to develop this kind of conditioning because they feel their environment so deeply that they react through the conditioning of the shadow in an unconscious way instead of being conscious in their relationship to their empathetic nature. You get your needs met by outside validation. You feel a sense of control and importance in the role of self-sacrificing. You're not honest about your own needs, and that develops resentment. That's inauthenticity. And then the enabler is a shadow element that enables the contracted behavior in an individual, and you become a co-conspirator. So you soften somebody else's choices so they don't feel their accountability and their consequences of their decisions, usually to maintain a trauma bond with them. People who have a very highly developed compassion inside of them also get trapped into this martyr complex because they feel so connected and compassionate and relate so deeply to other people's pain. They often think that they have to fix it at the expense of themselves. If you are a martyr, you are sacrificing expansion for this complex series of behaviors that is a survival mechanism. You don't have boundaries. There's issues with integrity. You have issues with discernment, and you have issues with discipline. And then there's not a lot of self-availability. So an empath or a deeply feeling person is not necessarily a martyr. But when that deeply feeling person becomes unconscious, disempowered, and reactive in their relationship to their feeling nature, they may easily fall below the line and develop this contractive cluster of conditioning in the shadow and in the wounded inner child that creates the martyr complex. First, it's unconscious conditioning, but there is a conscious choice that you will make at some point to continue trauma bonding with an individual through this codependence and martyrdom. And when you get honest enough and you decide to make a different choice, that's when the healing process starts. Then you have to go through the process of unraveling all of your relationship to that condition.